Hi, I'm Bruce and this is my family, Annie, Elsie, Betsy and Doug. In 2020 we sold our house, business and all our belongings and moved into our Sprinter van to travel Europe. This week we are in quarantine in West Cork and I explain what made us sell everything to live in a van and give an update on our land purchase in Ireland. Hello everyone, I'm currently in quarantine and it's my birthday today, and thinking that nobody really wants to see somebody sat around in quarantine doing not a lot. So I thought that I would make a video talking about why we sold everything to live in a van, and also maybe give everybody an update on the land that we're buying in Ireland. So a few years ago we moved to Suffolk, and the idea was when we moved to Suffolk we were going to be buying a cheaper house, have a smaller mortgage, and instead we fell in love with a beautiful cottage that was more expensive and we bought it. And at the time I was working away, but I felt confident that I'd be able to find another job that paid similar money and this, that and the other. The reality was that didn't happen, and I ended up working away from home for like over a year, which put a massive strain on the family, which subsequently pushed me into starting my own business, which was a positive thing overall. But then I went from working away to working away and then my time off working at home, so 7 days a week. Eventually, like, the business started to pay me enough money that I could take a lower paid job in Suffolk at the same time as running my business. And then, I can't actually remember how long it took, but eventually I just got overrun with orders and I ended up going completely self-employed. And that was awesome and very liberating and freeing, to figure out that I could even do that. I never believed that I'd be able to start my own business, and because I had kind of no other choice, I did, and it was great, and it was really successful and a lot of work. During 3 years that I had that, towards the end, I didn't know this was going to be the end. Things were going well. I had plenty of orders in. I was making enough money to pay for everything, and the work sort of time balance seemed to start to be pulling back towards where I feel it should be. And then when we kind of got to that point, I guess Annie then felt comfortable to tell me what had been on her mind for quite a while, and that was that we should give it all up and move into our van and travel the world. To which I was pretty much like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I've literally just figured this whole lot out. I've just got to the point where everything kind of settled down. So I needed a bit of time to think about that. Annie, being Annie, was very good at putting it across her point and convinced me to sell it, to get it all gone. So that's what we did. And there were lots of like amazing synchronicities that happened around that as well. Like, I kind of thought I was going to have to shut the business down. Then some friends of mine were interested. They ended up buying the business off us, and they're still doing an amazing job, by the way. If you want to get a camper converted, you should go and check them out. Newborn Campers. And we sold the house, like, and it all happened very quick. Whenever me and Annie decide to do something, even if we say, oh, we'll give it a bit of time, it always ends up happening really, really fast. So, house was on the market, business was sold, and we moved into the van around about the same time that the whole pandemic started, pretty much. I feel like it's worth saying that where we got to, and I know everybody's like perspective on this will be different, everybody's level of what they sort of see success as will be different, but young me would have looked at where I was and be like, well done mate, you've done it, you got there, like, you must feel great. And it's not that I didn't feel great, but what I did realise is that I didn't actually feel any different as I did like years ago. And definitely the pain and suffering I had to go through to get to that bit was not necessary. And actually, since giving it all up, I've learned even more about myself and that I need nothing, like very, very little. Like, we spend hardly any money now, and we spend so much time together. And I'm very grateful to that, because I feel like selfishly I'm paying myself back for all the time that I spent away from my family, reconnecting. But yeah, like, we had a 4-bedroom house with 3 toilets in it, and like in the countryside, went on holidays, did this, that and the other, like, but that's just, it's not it to me. It's just not it. It's like superficial. At the same time as all this happening, had some friends that lived up the road from us, living like a different lifestyle to us, and I would always be talking to them and other people as if like I was doing the same thing. Meanwhile, just completely like beeline in the other direction. And so what I was saying and what I was doing just wasn't marrying up. And so what all of this has done is it's definitely brought me into alignment with myself. And yeah, I guess the reason I'm also making this video is I just think that there's so many people out there that are in the same position as me. So I had the house and I had all this stuff, and I was still paying for it. So we had a mortgage still of like over 200,000, but we had this like equity. Yeah, everyone's always very excited because they've got equity, but unless you're going to do something with that equity, like, it's just, it's meaningless. I guess it's what your kids will get to have when you die, and so I'm giving them it now. But basically, once we'd sold that, the relief, the feeling of having no mortgage and no bills to pay was like amazing. You don't realise like how much weight you carry. Maybe not everyone, but for me, when I'd got that gone, I realised that I'd convinced myself, but you get told it, don't you? Like, that success is like owning your own home, or starting a business, or getting a pay rise, or becoming a manager, or I don't know, whatever someone else's idea of success is. I'm sure it's been imposed upon you at some point. And I'm just kind of here to say that, like, I had all that sort of stuff, I guess, and that having given it all up, I wouldn't go back there if you paid me. I wouldn't go back there, like, at all. I just wouldn't go back. Which I guess kind of brings me on to what we're doing next. So some of you already know that we are in the process of buying some land in Ireland, just over 2 acres, with an old stone cottage on it, and we're nearly there. We're like literally waiting for a boundary survey to be done, and then we can sign the papers and we can get over there. And the idea of this was to have no mortgage, to live a more sustainable off-grid life. And this place is perfect because it's got very minimal services up there. It's got plenty of land. It's in an area of Ireland that we absolutely love. And we're really excited to go on to the next step of our journey. It's going to be really interesting because I don't actually fully know exactly what direction we're going to go, but I do know that it won't be anything that is considered mainstream normality. That all being said, maybe this doesn't resonate with anybody, and maybe you're really happy doing what you're doing the job that you're doing, in the life situation that you've got going on right now. But if you're not, then just have a look at the other options you've got. It's not so one-dimensional as maybe you might think. I know that's easy for me to say on the other side of it now, but we were having a conversation the other day actually about what would I do like if I lost everything, like literally everything other than the clothes on my back. And I know that my way back out of that situation would not be the route that I took to get here now. Like, that's the long way round. Like, it's not necessary. And if I'd have thought as much out of the box then as I do now, I'd have done this 10 years ago. Anyway, I better go because my daughter's trying to get into the van and it's my birthday, so I don't want to spend all day talking to a camera. And hopefully you found this helpful or interesting or both. I will see you next Saturday.